Big changes are happening to Social Security right now in Congress. Take a look at this. Program makes big change in determining disability benefits for Social Security. And in Congress, this is what they're saying.
I'm working with Senator Brown and others on this committee to pass the SSI Restoration Act, which would raise the benefit rate and help fix these outdated rules. I'm glad to see that there's bipartisan support.
That was Elizabeth Warren. I'm going to play you the full video clip of what she says about Social Security in Congress right now. Also, take a look at this article right here. 3 changes to Social Security in 2024 that can help you get extra SSI money, up to $1,415 payments. So I'm going to give you all those updates and give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So, program makes big change determining disability benefits. So, Social Security Administration is dropping a list of 114 obsolete and obscure jobs such as reptile farmer and railroad telegraph as possible employment options for individuals applying for disability benefits. The list is used by the Social Security Disability Insurance and SSI programs to determine whether or not an applicant can find another job based upon their abilities. Based upon the list of jobs, an applicant can be denied benefits and be determined not disabled, but instead prompted to find work in one of the professions listed in the Dictionary of Occupational Titles. So the Department of Labor dropped its reliance on the list several decades ago, but the SSA still relies on it to make its final decisions in disability benefits applications. So while the agency's disability decision process remains sound, it continually seeks improvements to ensure its disability programs remain current and to ease the burden on customers. That's from the SSA press release. The SSA also cites that 13 occupations will now require additional justification to be cited as work options for a claimant. Saying it makes sense to identify occupations that now exist in very limited numbers in the national economy, according to Martin O'Malley, Social Security Commissioner. By making this update, our decision makers will no longer cite these jobs when denying a disability application. However, in total, there are 3,127 unskilled jobs listed in the Dictionary of Occupational Titles as potential jobs for individuals to work, including many that aren't sedentary. These changes come June 22nd, 2024, so not too long ago. What are your thoughts on these changes? Do you agree, disagree? Next, if we take a look at this article right here, 3 changes to Social Security in 2024 that help you get extra SSI money. So how much SSI money, what type of money, what are these changes? I'm going to go over all that, but first, take a listen to Elizabeth Warren in Congress talking about Social Security.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So in 1972, Congress established the Social Security Income, or SSI, so that people with disabilities could live in dignity and be somewhat self-supporting by getting a monthly cash payment. And it's now a critical lifeline for about 8 million Americans. But the problem is that these outdated rules have stranded about 4 out of every 10 people who receive it in poverty and unable to work. So I want to walk through an example just to make sure we're in on the numbers. A young woman living with disability who receives the average SSI payment, which is about $698 a month last year, well below the poverty line. So she picks up a remote minimum wage graphic design job for 8 hours a week, allowing her to take home another $232 a month, still leaving her well below the poverty line. Ms. Wilschke, you're an associate commissioner at the Social Security Administration. Say that SSA sees that this woman is earning $232 from her job each month on top of her SSI benefits. Under current law, can she keep the $232?
Thank you for the question. She would keep part of it, but it would be, her benefit would be reduced.
How much?
It's 80, she can keep the first $85 and half of the rest.
So she gets $85 is the amount she can keep from her work. And after that, for every $2 she earns, what happens to her Social Security benefits?
It would go down by $1.
They go down by $1. And then it gets worse. We've talked about another part of this, Cliff. Say she works for a few hours each week. She manages to put a little money aside. She wants to put down a deposit to try to get an apartment. And between her savings and SSI and her job, she manages to save just a little over $2,000. Now, when SSA sees that she has over $2,000, just walk us through. What happens, Ms. Wilschke?
Generally speaking, if she has liquid resources above the asset limit, she would not be eligible, at least for that month.
So she loses all of her benefits at that point. So she's done at that point.
Yes.
So SSI rules mean that this young woman can't afford to save for an apartment. She can't take a part-time job without jeopardizing her benefits. And having to continuously toe the monetary line here in order to keep her existing payments, I think is a minefield, as Senator Whitehouse has just pointed out, especially for an individual with a disability. So it's not just hard for SSI recipients, which we've been talking about. I want to talk about what it does for SSA. Associate Commissioner Wiltshire, how does the complexity of SSI's eligibility rules impact the Social Security Administration and your administrative costs?
Thank you for the question. Yes, SSI is complex for us to administer, and so while SSI payments only make up about 4 or 5% of our benefit outlays, it does make up about a third of our administrative budget.
So you're spending a third of your budget to track down people who now have $2,010 in total assets or who have made $100 more than the $85 that they were entitled to earn without triggering this. SSI is supposed to keep Americans with disabilities out of poverty, but it offers below poverty level support. It punishes people for working, and it punishes recipients for savings, all while the Social Security Administration is spending big dollars in order to administer this system. So I think we've all been talking about the importance of making changes here. I'm working with Senator Brown and others on this committee to pass the SSI Restoration Act, which would raise the benefit rate and help fix these outdated rules. I'm glad to see that there's bipartisan support for raising the asset limits so that SSI beneficiaries can save more than a few pennies without fear of losing their benefits, and so that the Social Security Administration can just spend less time administering all of this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
What are your thoughts on what Elizabeth Warren had to say? Do you agree, disagree? So take a look at this right here. 3 changes to Social Security in 2024 that could help you get extra SSI money. So the policy was announced on June 24th that could help more people qualify for disability benefits. As I just mentioned earlier, so the SSI program provides monthly benefits to qualifying adults, children, and with a disability SSI payments. Now, when it comes to the actual changes, it makes sense, where is it? All right, so here are the 3 changes. So COLA increase, 3.2%, that seems to be the latest, and the average SSI payment is $697 a month as of May 2024. And then higher SSI payment standards. So for individuals who receive SSI benefits, in addition to Social Security, the SSI federal payment standard rose to $943 a month in 2024 versus $914 in 2023. For couples, the standard rose to $1,415 a month from $1,371 last year. And then I think we got one more. Oh no, that was the 3. Yeah, that was the 3. Okay, yeah, wider pool of potential beneficiaries. That was the announcement that I made earlier that identified 114 occupations that exist. So yeah, those are the 3 changes, and that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my donor Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should really use. If you're like the pool or something and like you get hurt or something, you should just try your best, because sometimes that happens to me too, and it's not really fun. But if you got hurt like that one time, I'm sure you could deal with it, and you can be strong and powerful like how you are. So, bye! Hope you have a great day.
If you want to see the latest debate between Trump and Biden live talking about Social Security, you're not going to want to miss this video over here as they both talk. I'm going to show you the full video clip of them talking about Social Security, what they want to do about it. Click that video now and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.